Okay, this is where we will finish. Let us do a quick recap to find out what we have learned. Everybody, this is what we have learned. If we humble ourselves, why is this over here so far? If we humble ourselves and pray, God will hear and forgive. That is one thing we learned. What else did we learn? Ahab, a wicked king, humbled himself before God, and wickedness on his house was given after he died. Instead of the wickedness came when he was alive, it came after he died because he humbled himself and prayed. What did we also say? Manasseh, the wickedest king in Israel, one of the wickedest king, prayed and God heard and forgave him. This is the importance of prayer, my brethren. Prayers to God was more important to Daniel. He prayed in the morning, the afternoon, and evening than his life. Prayers was more important to Daniel than his life. You can imagine that, brethren? Prayer being more important than your life. This is the importance of prayer. Okay, prayer was more important to the apostles than serving tables. This is the importance of prayer. What else did we learn? We learned about the prayer of faith, which Jesus' brother in the book of James spoke of. The prayer of faith heals the sick and helps the afflicted. So next time, brothers and sisters, when we get sick, the first thing we must do is pray. If we think that our prayers aren't sufficient, we should seek the elders of the church and let them come and anoint us with oil and the prayers of faith. Remember that? The prayers of faith heals the sick and helps the afflicted. Coming to a close. Pray. Christians must live a life of continuous prayer. We didn't get to that verse, but Paul said, pray without ceasing. We learned that we should pray over our food to allow God to bless it. This is what it says in Timothy. Husbands, treat your wives godly, or your prayers will be hindered. The scripture said, you better treat your wife properly, or if you don't, your prayers will be hindered. This is what the scripture says. Jesus says, God's house shall be called a house of prayer by all nations. Do not forget that. Jesus also says, praying in secret and no useless repeating is Christ's advice. You must pray in secret, find a solitary place in your closet and close the door, not publicly, and don't give vain repetitions. That is Christ's advice. You must be genuine and give words of solemn words which are true to Christ. Christ prayed early before morning in a solitary place. That is what we just saw in our last thing. And we also say that Jesus taught us how to pray. And this is what he said. You must pray to the Father, whose kingdom is coming, whose will must be done. Whose will must be done. God's will must be done. You must thank him for our food, forgive us for our wrongs, and we forgive others for their wrongs. For you are the kingdom, is God's kingdom, and is God of the power, and is God of the glory. So this is where we will close off, and I hope that our message was a blessing. We went 5 minutes over time, but I hope that was okay. Thank you for listening, brothers and sisters. I hope you all learned something about prayer. We couldn't have given all the scriptures in the Bible about prayer, but we searched for some that were very important, and I hope it was a blessing. Thank you for listening. God bless you. I hope you learned something.